The instinct for power is basic to men and women. Wherever you find the living, you will find the will to power. But it is usually thought of as one of mankind's less attractive characteristics, along with violence and aggression, with which it is often confused. Most people do not like to admit that they want power, which is why they never get it. And those who do have power go to endless lengths to mask the fact. Some politicians, like the late Lyndon B. Johnson, openly relish the trappings of power. But the contemporary American style of power is to pretend that one has none. To confess that one has power is to make oneself responsible for using it, and safety lies in an artfully contrived pose of impotence, behind which one can do exactly as one pleases. In the age of clamorous victims, it is easier to join in the clamor, to follow the inspired lead of the mafiosi who demanded our sympathy because they were discriminated against as Italo-Americans, just another minority group. No connection to the guys who make their living from loan sharking, narcotics, illegal gambling, and prostitution. The man of respect gave way to the complaining victim as the power style of organized crime at just about the same time that the urban middle class was making the same discovery. The old ideal of walking tall and exuding an aura of power in all its physical and psychological terms was a potent weapon in the traditional arsenal of urban man. In response to this, the white urban middle class, those who do not flee to the suburbs, retreated, learned to walk small to avoid confrontation. Showing that one had power was asking for trouble, and admitting, what is more, that one might possibly be held responsible for second-rate education in the ghetto, crumbling housing, insufficient medical services, rapacious landlords, and corrupt police. It was easier and more sensible to pretend that we were all victims of the system, whether we lived in the ghetto or a 12-room duplex apartment with a view of the park. The fact that it had been our system, that we lived well in part because other people lived badly, was something that we found it convenient to ignore now that it was under attack, which explains the unusual phenomenon of people within the system, the beneficiaries and architects of it, so to speak, joining those outside to denounce it. Half the people in Washington who had worked to get us into the Vietnam War later joined the anti-war campaign as if they never had anything to do with what had happened. What people had always done instinctively in their private and business lives was suddenly elevated to a living philosophy.